Hello! You are watching the Video Voters Guide, organized by the League of Women Voters of Portland. We are in the studios of Metro East Community Media to talk with candidates running in the November 2020 general election. All candidates who filed for this race were invited to participate in the Video Voters Guide. However, there are many reasons during a campaign why a candidate may be unable to appear. For comprehensive coverage by the League, including information on candidates who might not have been available for a video interview, visit vote411.org. Information is available in both English and Spanish. Candidates may choose to include additional information on Vote 411, such as their own YouTube videos. Watch, share, and be an informed voter.
Hello, this is Haley McLaughlin with the League of Women Voters of Portland, and with me today is Joanna Harbour, running for Congressional District 3. Welcome, Joanna. To start, can you describe the part of Oregon you're running to represent, and then tell us a little bit about yourself, why you're running for this office, and what unique characteristics you have among the candidates for this office?
Thank you. So the district, 3rd Congressional District comprises of most of Portland, all of Gresham and Troutdale, and the northern part of Clackamas County. That includes Boring, Damascus, Sandy, all the way up to Government Camp and down to Eagle Creek and Estacada, a few other communities. So it's kind of a wide variety of areas of urban, suburban, and rural. And I am a former attorney. I had a law practice in Estacada that I closed down in 2016. From there, I went on to be an office manager. And I also had a business with Beachbody as a health nutritional coach after I've lost 65 pounds. With their program, I wanted to share it. And I decided to run for Congress because I thought I had some unique abilities that I could bring to help bring about some change that we needed. I feel like some areas were being neglected. And one of the platforms I had conveniently was, well, it's not really convenient. It's horrible what's going on right now with the forest fires, but forest management was one of my platforms, and the let it burn practice of the national forest whenever it happens in federal territory, and just letting it burn to where it ends up encroaching on people and their livestock and things, was one of the things I had on my platform. I wanted to stop that policy so that we put fires out and we don't let it endanger anyone's lives. And I also wanted to open up the forest for good forest management of logging. We have a good resource we shouldn't be importing. I think I heard the number was 40% from Canada. And so we should be also mitigating fire damage, making sure that it's not a powder keg ready to go. And so that was actually one of the things I had on my platform. I wanted to go and represent the people in this district and do things that would actually help benefit them. And that was one of the ones I had on.
Great. What should Congress do to deal with climate change? In your opinion, is Congress doing enough to combat climate change? And if not, what specific initiatives would you support?
I believe it's very important that we have clean air. I think the last few weeks, people living in Oregon understand that with all the smoke. It's very difficult to breathe. And as someone who had to evacuate, it's one of the main reasons why we can't go back to our home is due to smoke damage. And until we can get professionals in to clean, we can't go back, and we can't do that until we get down to level 1, and we're not there yet. I think there are things we can do, but we always have to have a balancing effect. We can't harm people in the process. And so it's very important that we look at what we're doing, that we're not going to end flights everywhere so people can't fly from Hawaii and back and forth. We need to be very cognizant that whatever we do, we're not harming people in the process and taking away their livelihoods. There's ways to do things where we're taking all of it into account and making sure we're protecting the environment as well as protecting people.
What legislation do you support or would you propose regarding a federal response to the COVID-19 pandemic?
The thing with COVID, as far as I think what they did in helping get money and the the payroll protection plan. Helping small businesses is very important because they're really the backbone of our economy. And making sure that nobody was, or trying to limit the amount of job loss. I mean, obviously we lost a lot of jobs. As far as actual restrictions, such as what should a community do, how much should it shut down at all, I really think that needs to be done at the local level, because locals know better what they can do and what they can't do, and what's safe for their community. And so as far as like a national mandate for masks, I would totally be opposed to anything like that, because I honestly, truly think locals know better how to take care of themselves than a federal government that's far, far away in Washington, D.C.
If elected, what will your top priorities during the next session of Congress to specifically help Oregonians in your district?
You know, it's interesting. That has actually changed from when I filed till now, because COVID. And then, everything has changed. So, and, you know, everything's always subject to change if something new happens. Hopefully, I'm praying that we don't have any new crazy things happen in 2020, but 2020 has thrown us all for a loop. So, I mean, I had a lot of things I wanted to work on, such as sex and human trafficking, which, by the way, I won't let that go by the wayside. But with COVID, I think it's very important that we work on rebuilding our economy. We need to make sure people are getting back to work, they're getting their jobs, people are able to take care of themselves. The vulnerable, if they still can't get out, we need to make sure they're being taken care of, that they're having their groceries delivered, all that kind of stuff. And there's resources for them. And so that is really, the economy needs to get back and going, and we need to make sure that everyone has jobs, and we need to have states fix their unemployment too. By the way, what happened in Oregon with unemployment was horrible, and they had money to fix it and didn't. So I think there needs to be an audit there. Obviously the forest management one is still a high priority, because we still have a lot of, to use the same phrase, powder kegs out there that need to be taken care of to mitigate the potential of having more wildfires. I think those right now, the economy and dealing with COVID and the dealing with the fires are probably the top priority. But we also have, we can't forget Portland, Oregon has a huge homeless population, and that they need to be taken care of too. We can't forget about them. And that's an individual thing. So it's not like a one size fits all, which is probably why the problem has gone on for so long. And we also have affordable housing that needs to be addressed as well. So there are a few top priorities there.
Thank you. Misinformation can have a damaging effect for democracy. What approaches might you take to ensure that the public has accurate and unbiased information about elections and government?
So as far as if I'm elected, I would try and do my best to make sure that whenever I speak clearly and effectively. If there's some kind of mistake, we fix it right away. Same with anyone who speaks on my behalf and my staff. As far as you said with elections, one of the things that I think we need to do is, well, we do have our voter pamphlet that comes out, and we do have all that kind of stuff. I think Oregon has a good method of doing that. There's a process in which things get in. But as far as the news and things like that, there's not really much we can do because there's freedom of the press. And it's up to the press. And usually if they get things too wrong, oh, sorry, that was my timer. If they get things too wrong, people will quit watching them. And so it kind of self-corrects there. But we can do things for transparency sake. And I think it's very important that we know who's donating to who and that type of thing. So we do need accountability and transparency. I agree with you on that.
Great. That is all the time we have for today. Thank you, Joanna, for joining us. We appreciate your time.
This has been the Video Voters Guide. Thank you for watching. The general election is Tuesday, November 3rd. The last day to register is October 13th. Remember to mail your ballot a week ahead or visit a ballot drop location. Be sure to inform yourself about the candidates and ballot measures and exercise your right to vote.